Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a real estate empire with no money. Do you think you need to have a lot of cash to build up a significant real estate investing empire? Yes and no. Doesn't necessarily need to be your cash, and there are ways that you can get rolling with little or no money. So today, that's where we're going to take a look at. How can you create a real estate empire without a lot of your own cash? We'll take a look at creative strategies, working with partners, finding good deals, and using other people's money to scale up your real estate investing business. So the first thing you have to have if you want to build up a real estate empire without any money is a realistic expectation, right? You can't expect to just magically create a real estate portfolio out of nothing. So number one, you need to get educated about real estate investing. If you don't have the faintest clue, don't assume that you're just going to magically manifest this into your life. You need to do the work. You need to get the education. You need to understand exactly what you're going to do. So figure out exactly what kind of real estate investing you want to focus on and the market that you want to focus on, and get education about doing that. Read books, go to the library, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos like this, attend your local RIA, take courses in training and mentoring. Get a really good idea about what you want to focus on first, so you've got a clear plan of action. Step number two, what you need to do is you need to create a bit of a track record. Well, Dave, how do I do that if I don't have any money? Well, there's lots of ways you can do this. And one of the shortcuts is find somebody who's actively doing what you want to do and provide sweat equity in exchange for a tiny piece of the deal. So if you go to your local real estate investment association or your real estate investment club meeting, find somebody who's actively doing what you want to do. Let's say you want to get into flips. Find somebody who is actively doing flip deals. And then make them this proposal. Say, hey, you know what? I really want to learn how to do flips. What can I do to provide you with massive value? Fact that is, I don't have much cash, so it'd have to be some sort of effort. How can I bring some sweat equity to a deal in exchange for just a tiny piece of equity? I'm not looking for you to cut me a paycheck. I'm not looking to be an employee. I want to work for equity. What can I do? So then you get some experience, hands-on experience. Maybe you're swinging a hammer, maybe you're cleaning stuff up, maybe you're doing marketing stuff for this person, whatever it is, you pay to play. If you got some money, you can actually invest with that person, great. But we're talking about how to do this with no money. So bring in effort, bring in expertise, bring in your skill set. Say you're really good with numbers. Maybe you can do the books for this person in exchange for a little tiny piece of equity in a deal. Don't expect 50%, but even if you get 2% or 5% of a deal, that gets you in the game. That gets you going and playing the game. Some other tips on getting started without much money are to look at doing creative deals, low money, no money down type deals. Heck, that's what I did back in the day when I did 18 deals in 18 months when I had no job, no credit, no clue. I had a bit of a clue. I had the education part. But there are different kinds of things that you can do with motivated sellers that don't require a lot of your own money. You can look at lease options. You can look at doing deals with seller financing. You can look at doing deals subject to the underlying mortgage. All these kind of options are ways to get into properties with little or no money down. But the challenge is it really limits how many deals you can do because you can only go after these kind of wonky one-off type situations. So as quickly as possible, you want to be getting to a point where you don't have to worry about just focusing on creative deals. You've got the capital you need to do the kind of deals that you want to do. Here's the good news. Doesn't need to be your money. All right, once you're working on getting the education, you're getting a bit of a track record, maybe you're doing some sweat equity, you're getting into some creative deals. At the same time, it's a good idea to start building up your network of prospective investors and joint venture partners. What can you do to make this happen? A couple of things. One thing is you can show people on social media that you're actively doing deals. This is something a lot of people do. They do it very, very well. Some people don't do it very well. Bottom line is you want to show people what you're doing without directly soliciting investors. Very, very important there. I see a lot of people making the mistake. They show people what they're doing. And they say, hey, if you're interested, if you'd like to invest with me, go ahead and reach out. Big, big, big mistake. That's soliciting investors. Unless you're licensed to do so or you're set up with the appropriate protections and legal structures and whatnot, you could get yourself into big trouble with your not too friendly securities regulator. So be very, very careful about that. Use social media very carefully. The best way to use social media is to just show people what you're doing and just gradually bring on connections, bring on this as a way to create those kind of new friendships and new relationships that can turn into investors down the road. Okay. The other thing you could be doing is you can be creating a list of prospective investors, people that you already have a pre-existing relationship with. So friends, family members, close business contacts, people you know from church, civic organizations, etc. You've got a pre-existing relationship with these people. They know you, you know them. Let's create a list of those kind of people and start letting them know what you're up to with real estate investing, right? Different things that you can do with this. You can be sending out a monthly newsletter about what you're up to. Talk a little bit about what you're doing personally, add in some of the real estate stuff. You can do video logs. You can do short little videos, kind of like what I'm doing here, maybe even a little bit shorter, and just really focus on educating people about what you're doing with real estate investing. You can do blog posts, you can do articles, you can do all these different types of things. Constant, consistent, edutaining communication is the key. So let people know that you're actively doing real estate deals and start generating that interest, and ideally get people piqued, get their curiosity piqued, so they're asking you about what you're up to with real estate. Next thing you want to do, once you're getting this little bit of a track record going, is you want to start actively attracting investors and joint venture partners. So again, if you're doing some of these marketing ideas I'm talking about, this is going to be very, very effective. The next thing you want to make sure you got is that you've got a really good investor presentation or a pitch deck ready to go. So when people put up their hand and say, hey, what's this real estate thing you're doing? You've got something that you can walk them through that's very, very easy for a non-real estate person to understand and keeps you on track. So I love using a slide deck presentation like a PowerPoint or a Keynote if you're an Apple user. It really, really is much more visually interesting for the other person. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. Here's my suggestion. Keep it Reader's Digest level. Reader's Digest, again, is a magazine written for grown-ups, but it's written for a 13-year-old comprehension level. That's what we want to do with our pitch deck, right? It doesn't mean that your investors are dumb. It just means that they probably aren't as up to speed on real estate investing as you are and as I am. So if we start talking with them with jargon, with terminology they don't understand, with charts and graphs and data and all this kind of stuff that just goes over their head, they're going to zone out and not be interested. So make sure that we talk to them at their level. So if you like the idea of building up your real estate investing empire with no money, you're still going to need money. You're going to need other people's money. The best way to do that is my money partner formula. Just like Jamie and Leslie did, you can get a free copy. Just click on the link in the description below or go to investorattractionbook.com. This is going to show you exactly how to attract investors and their capital instead of chasing after them. That way you can bring on joint venture partners. They can bring the money, they can bring the credit for your deals, and you can start doing more deals and or bigger deals faster.